What's up, everyone, and welcome to another fantastic episode of TerrorCrave. We are your hosts, as always, Lee and Jason. Jason, good day, sir.
What's going on, Lee?
Oh man, did you watch the Oscars?
No, I mean I saw this or that, but yeah,
What happened, huh?
yeah, that was crazy. That was
it, it
crazy.
it was crazy, dude. It was. No, I just thought I'd bring that up. It was funny. What did you catch it live, or how did you
I
hear about
actually
the infamous slap around the world with Will Smith and Chris Rock?
no, I that part I watched after. I actually watched the beginning of the Oscars, like the first couple of awards, and then I remembered why I don't really watch those shows and turned it off. But then I found out that had happened. I was like, wait, let me go check it out and watch it. And I was like, whoa, man, that was crazy.
It was crazy. I like you didn't see it live. A buddy of mine hit me up and was like, "Did you see what happened?" So I was able to, because I was able to go back and quickly see. And of course, it was everywhere by that point, on Twitter, and you could see the unedited or the unbleeped version. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, from all the different other countries that just showed it outright and were like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? We're showing this in all its glory. So I saw it after the fact when I knew it was a thing. I really do wish that I had watched it
Live.
live then, to kind of be like everyone else to be like, is this
Is it
or is
staged?
this a
Did you think
joke
it
or
was
is it a
staged at
what?
first?
Well, because I,
You were told you already knew it was
I was
real.
told it, but no, my first thing was like, oh, it's not real. You know what I mean? Or not that my buddy was telling me it was real, but what happened was not quite what it appeared to be. You know what I mean? That it was
Yeah.
fake. That was my long
Yeah.
way of saying yes. At first my gut instinct was telling me that. Um, but because it was just so crazy, because that's not the Will Smith. He's
No.
always been painted as this Mr. Nice Guy and all of this, and just the
Yeah.
good guy, which I'm not saying he's not, but everybody has a bad day. But that was a crazy bad day to have in front of everyone.
Well, I think Will Smith is going through some stuff and has been for a couple of years. And I think it just was I don't know, maybe came to a boiling point or something for him or whatever, man. He just kind of overreacted in it. But, you know, I won't get into it too much because, you know, I'll keep my opinions to myself, I think.
There you go. Okay,
Uh,
no, I just thought it was funny to bring up. I wish I had seen it live, and it
yeah.
is crazy that it went down. And yeah, it was wild. I mean, hey, Oscars have been going down in ratings. I mean, forever. At one point, man, it was like the second highest. It would
Oh,
always be
yeah.
counted
It was
on
a
as
big
like this.
deal.
Yeah, it was like behind the Super Bowl that year was always going to be the Oscars.
Yeah.
And ratings wise, Super Bowl's still where it is. Ratings have fallen all the way down. I think at one point last year it was 10 million, 9 million viewers, which is pretty low. I mean, like I said, in the
Yeah.
heyday, you could expect 50 to 60 million viewers. But anyway, um, I just thought, and now it's, but it raised. The ratings went up. So hey, maybe it was staged to get some ratings or
Maybe
to get
some
people talking
people
about
think
it.
it was.
Yeah,
I don't think it was staged. I think that
me
he
either.
snapped.
I do too.
Uh,
I do too. Well, guys, I know that's not what you turned in for. You turned in to hear some horror stuff, but I thought
yeah.
we'd touch on what was happening in pop culture right now. We do have a great episode for you, though. We're going to talk about, we're going to keep it, what do you call it? Cryptid. I guess a werewolf is a werewolf
Yeah.
considered a cryptid?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Not
I
really, I
don't know.
guess.
Well, I guess they can be cryptid though.
Well, okay. Well, then we're going to keep it a show like that. If we could count the werewolves, we're going to talk about three movies tonight. First one up, we're going to talk about is Werewolves Within. Sorry, Werewolves Within. Second one is Wolf of Snow Hollow, and then we're going to finish up with Dark Was the Night.
Mhm.
Even though Jason told me specifically
I
that we were
did.
going to talk about that one
I said,
first. Now what I say,
yeah, that's all right.
as I was laying it out. So I'm going to say, guys, I was fooling you. We're actually we're going to go backwards. We're going to go Dark Was the Night, followed by Wolf of Snow Hollow, followed by Werewolves Within.
Yeah, and
So
well, I said I wanted to just get that one out of the way. I think were my exact words, but um, that was one that I know that you had seen, and you asked me to watch it, and I put it off and put it off, and I not on purpose, but something else. I had to watch
it
something else.
depends on what your review is going to be right now. After, because if you preface it by saying I put it off
Yeah,
and put it off, and I
yeah.
was happy that I did.
Well, it had the star in it that I like that was in The Strain, the actor that was in The Strain,
Kevin
uh
Durant.
Kevin Durant, yeah.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
and I like him. I really liked him in the Strain and stuff like that. And I'd seen him in another little part somewhere, and I really liked him. And it was fine. He did a okay job in this one, but man, to me, it just was so slow, man. Just like so drawn out. Um, it had a couple of little gory scenes in it, though. I like that.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure
Eh,
you did.
Um, and it did have a cryptid creature in this one also, but this was the Wendigo. So, which they called it a Wendigo, I believe, but I think most people pronounce that Wendigo.
Wendigo.
Yeah.
Not Wendigo. See,
Oh, that's
I would have come in
maybe.
there and said Wendigo. I'm so glad you're saying it first and
Well,
setting the
no,
stage
I
for
guess
how it's
there's
supposed to be said.
I've heard it said like that too, and I don't know who's right. I don't know. I was gonna say leave a comment, but we'll just read the word the way that we want to.
Uh, well, no, Jason, I did come across this movie. This movie came out in 2014, guys, and as he said, it starred Kevin Durant, he's a genre actor. He's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. He played the Blob and Wolverine, and has been in quite a few other things as well.
Hmm.
Lost, if you guys watched Lost, also he was in Lost. And I like him as an actor also. Also starred Lucas Haas, the little boy from Witness,
Yeah.
who has grown up, so had him in there as well. Has people, other recognizable faces, but those being the two.
Hmm.
So I stumbled upon this movie a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh, cryptid!" And just something caught my eye, and I checked it out. And like you, right? I think the setup was fantastic. The beginning actually was pretty cool. It was
Yeah.
also the very beginning, Steve McGee, the guy who was in Peacemaker, who has become somewhat of a big name. He had a brief role, I guess, before he became, where he is now. He
Yeah.
was the guy that got killed in the very beginning. I don't know if you
Hmm.
went out and checked on the work guys, but it was it was a lot of setup. And the anticipation builds and it builds and it builds.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then nothing really ever goes down
no.
until the very end. There's a little bit of action, a little bit of
Yeah.
suspense.
Well,
You know
let's
what I
talk
mean? But for
about
the
that
most
part
part, it
of the
goes
movie.
on. Okay.
It built up so much, and then they came in with a really bad CG stuff for the actual creature, and I
Right.
thought it was like, man, all this for that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you don't have anything else to watch, like if you've watched everything on Prime and everything on Netflix and HBO Max, and even down to the Discovery Channel, if you're looking for something to watch,
Oh my. Oh wow. So I mean, I actually have not heard quite a review from you like that. So I would imagine it's scale between. I'm not. I can't go that far, that hard on it. I I was interested for you to see it because of the cryptid stuff.
yeah,
Um, and because of the Wendigo. How
Wendigo,
did you
yeah,
Wendigo? Sorry, Wendigo. Because the Wendigo. I was excited for you to see it, just to get your thoughts. I did think it did build up, and never really go anywhere, but it still kept my interest the
yeah,
whole time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, what are these things? And it was so so it and every now and then, to your point, there would be like this spattering of quick violence, or a quick
yeah,
attack, but then it would go back to the slowness. So I
yeah,
didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. Um, but it wasn't very exciting. I did like the ending, just because you think it's really kind of all said and done. And then, of course, just like, I mean, yes, there's been tons of other movies that have done that also.
Mhm.
Next thing you know, there's a swarm of those things outside of the church. You know what I mean? But it it was it kept my interest. Yes, it wasn't great, but I would not rate it. I think you were going to rate it. So why don't we go between a scale of 1 to 10? What do you
One to
think?
10.
I mean, if I'll be very
Um,
surprised.
I'm gonna give it a 3 just because I like the actor.
A 3. I'm actually surprised. I mean, the way you had set it up, I thought it was going to be a 1, 100%. But okay,
I've seen some ones and that's not a 1.
right.
Uh, who what,
What did you besides the CGI? You since you are a fan of the cryptids and stuff. What did you think how they the design of the Wendigo?
it was,
Take the
with
CGI stuff out, but what did you think the design of the creature looked like?
I mean, that was fine. I mean, I like that. I mean, you gotta have the antlers and all the, like, or the not really, just all this stuff coming off of the Wendigo. I mean, if you go back and look at the drawings from, like, the Native Americans and stuff, they kept it, in line with that.
Okay, that's cool. I was just curious. Um, I'm gonna give it a I'll give it a 5, actually. I'll give it a 5. Again, I didn't think it was terrible. Yes, it does build up, and you wait for something to happen. There were definitely some suspenseful parts, I thought, when it was in the house and it
Mhm.
was coming up the stairs. There were definitely when some suspense was there, I felt it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that part I enjoyed, and like I said, it kept my interest. To your point, I've seen worse ones too, where I'm like, I can't even watch this. You know what I mean? And not make it through, but it held my interest. So yeah, I'll give it a solid 5.
Well, yeah, that's not bad. Well, it's still not a bad review. Didn't knock them all the way out, but did you watch Wendigo, the actual movie Wendigo?
No, I have not
That
seen
just
that.
came out a few years ago. That was okay. It wasn't bad. The story was good. Um, they actually, are a father and a son there. Well, that's one you should watch. Watch that one sometime. Maybe we'll
Is it
review that one.
is that is it like a sci-fi channel movie?
Something like, yeah, I believe,
You know what I mean? Like
maybe
those,
so.
because sci-fi was at one point pumping out a lot of those, and I
Yeah,
guess they still do. You know what I
I
mean?
don't
Those type of
actually, I don't
cryptid
know if that was or
movies.
not. If that was a
I've stumbled upon quite a few of those, and maybe I don't know if I've seen it one just called straight Wendigo though. So I'll check it out.
okay, yeah, check that one out, man. I think you'll like that one, and um, it's a little bit weird, so I think you'll like it.
All
Not
right,
saying you're
cool.
weird, but you
Oh,
know.
well, I mean, I'm not sure how else to take that. But fine, we'll move on. We'll move on.
Yeah,
No, so all right, it's 5 and a 4 again, or 3. I'm sorry, I gave it
3.
3. I don't want
Yeah,
to raise. I
yeah,
don't want to
no,
raise those ratings.
yeah.
I don't want to give fake news out here. So all right, well that's what we'll go with then. So guys, now we're going to move into the werewolf section of the films or of the reviews. Um, let's start with which one, Jason? Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Yeah, let's start with that one.
All right, well let's do that then. Wolf of Snow Hollow. Uh, I thought I enjoyed it. I thought it was another film that had a lot of slowness to it. You know what I mean? I did enjoy the who done it, and that's something about werewolf movies that I guess I had forgotten because I hadn't really watched one for a while.
Mhm.
Well, I guess there's different ones, right? Some are definitely done from the perspective of the person who's going through the transformation, the werewolf himself, or something
Yeah,
like that. And there's others like the two we're actually going to discuss that become more of a who done it or
yeah,
a thriller, like who is it, you know what I mean, like you just don't know who the actual killer is. In that regard, I was that it kept me engaged, you know what I mean, for the Wolf of Snow Hollow. And for this one, guys, it's about small town, bodies keep getting discovered during his full moon. This quirky sheriff is out there. He's kind of going to become the sheriff, I think, or at
mhm.
least his father's retiring, and his father was played by the great Robert Forster.
Yeah.
R.I.P. He was a fantastic actor. I think this might have been his last role, actually, or movie role, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. I think he did the Breaking Bad movie at the end there. So anyway, but it was one of his last roles. So it was great to see him. The sheriff's very quirky. It's kind of a comedy, dark comedy, I guess. There's some really funny things that happen at times. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Like I said, the who done it part of it was kind of cool to me. What did you think about it? You hated it.
No, no, no. I thought it was a good movie. I agree. It was a little bit slow in the
Yeah.
going, but um, I actually the son that was going to be sheriff, what was his John Marshall, I think was his name in the movie. So he
Jim. Yep, John Marshall. You're right. Played by Jim
yeah.
Cumming, who was
So
actually the director of the film too.
what was funny about that is like there were several times when I was watching the movie that while he was talking or he kind of smiled, you could see his teeth, and his teeth, like his eye teeth, his canine teeth, were really like long and sharp, like while he was
Mhm.
acting. And I was like, is he a vampire? What's going on here? But I think it was just like his real teeth. They were just like, longer than normal. So
Right, right.
anyway,
Um, no,
it kind of threw me for a while. I was like, wait, what's going on here? Is this like some Twilight
y-
stuff going on here? What's
uh,
happening?
you thought that was for like
Yeah,
them
part of
showing
the
us
movie.
part of the
Yeah.
movie. Okay, cool. I got that. Um, so what did you think of the actual when they actually said who was the killer or the werewolf? You know what I mean? Were you surprised by that part of it, or were you? I mean, you know, just what were your thoughts on that?
I a little bit, a little bit. Um, a
I guess
lot
we'll
of
just
the
say it. I mean, just for the audience to know what I'm talking about, because I should have been clear. The this movie actually, even though we're led to believe that there's a werewolf being attacked or attacking people and killing people the whole time, come to find out it's a guy putting on a werewolf costume
yeah.
and killing people. You know what I mean? So I liked that little twist, but then it made me call in question how he was
Yeah, no, well,
killing
some of
these
the
people
well,
like he did. You know, because it
so
was
he was a taxidermist, right?
yes,
And
as
then
well.
what
Okay, yeah,
he was a taxidermist, and I guess he was just yeah, because at the end of the movie when he discovered him, I thought it was just going to be one of those things like he was, oh, well, he just kills people to make it look like it. But then you find out he's actually dressing up as one, and it was like, dang on, this dude, he's going all out, man.
yeah,
It made
yeah.
like the what was he using for the claws? Was it actual claws or it was or just a knife thing or something, wasn't it? I can't remember
Maybe
what he
it
used.
was. It's because, but whatever it was able to sever limbs. Like I mean, because I
Yeah,
mean, and and he was. There was a particular scene which I thought was a great shot, actually, in the movie, where the girl in the van is being attacked by the werewolf, and then it kind of goes back and shows you from the point of view from afar, like, and it shows the werewolf, the girl kind of scooting back. It's a girl, right? Yeah, girl
yeah,
scooting back, and it's the werewolf stands up on its hind legs, which I guess right there was well, werewolves are different though all the time. Well, stand up on its hind legs and how big it was.
yeah,
Remember that
yep.
scene, that particular scene? So I thought that was a great scene, but then it calls back into question how this dude was doing all of these things as a werewolf. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, I think he really thought of himself as a werewolf. You
Yeah, I
know what
think
I
he was
mean?
crazy. Yeah.
The way that he turned around and looked at him when he was going out the door to try to escape or whatever. You know what I mean? And he had just messed up this young sheriff to be. He stabbed him, but I it was cool that he walked out the house and then the sheriff did, and then it dawned on him that this is the guy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? This is him.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
he was probably thrilled because the whole time he was like, there's no such thing as werewolves. There's no such thing. And he was trying to convince everybody else at the station and around the place, that there's no such things as werewolves, and everybody's like, yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. This is a werewolf. It was like, come on.
Yeah, you're right. Um, given this movie, what would you give it? Or
I'd
thinking of
give this one around a 6.5. I'd
six
give
and a
it a
half?
6.5. Yeah.
I will give it I'm gonna go with a 6 on this one. Um, I actually, it was good. Uh, it was slower, but it was a comedy, the dark comedy. The
Yeah.
laughs were subtle.
Hmm.
They were good. You know what I mean? They were good. But I think it was yeah, it was just maybe a little bit too dry, too slow or too dry. So I'm gonna give it a 6.
I went
Uh,
with the
and then it
extra
wasn't a wolf.
half there because I liked the idea that the guy was just a human putting on this suit, but it reminded me of with the claws like a Freddy Krueger type thing, the way that he was killing people. But um no, it was good. It was good. I would recommend people check it out.
I mean, the twist was all nice. The twist was
Mhm.
nice. You know what I mean? But I just, yeah, for me, it's still a 6. I did like the twist. Maybe it would have been a 5 if the twist didn't give it a little, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? But it was good. It was good. I
Yeah.
think the twist was nice, but I think the twist also bothered me a little bit. So that's why, even though I enjoy good twists, you know what I mean, and that it wasn't, it bothered me a little bit that it was just a dude doing this, not a wolf.
Well, you know what it made me think of is the guy in Split.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
which was a
mean?
great
How
movie.
Yeah, how he turned into the what was it, the beast, or is that what they call him, the beast?
Yeah, the Beast. Yeah, but he
Yeah, like
did
how he did that.
transform.
I know, man,
Yeah,
that was crazy.
it was, and that was, yeah. Oh, dude, that was good. You know, we should talk about M. Night Shyamalan films here and rank them soon. That would
I,
be good stuff
I
to
would do
do.
that. I want to
Yeah,
see Old first, though.
I haven't done that either, so maybe we'll talk
Yeah,
about that. Yeah, we'll review that and then go into that. That'd be a good show to do.
yeah.
Um, all right, so we'll move on, guys. The third film we're going to talk about, also werewolf themed, as we said, it is Werewolves Within. Uh, this one just recent. Actually, both of these are recent films. Wolf is
Hmm.
So Hollow came out in 2020. Werewolves Within is 2021. This one is based on a video, not a video game. It's a game though. It is based on a game where you kind of have to figure out who the wolf is and all of that stuff. A party game that you can play with friends. Uh, this is about what is it? The new forest ranger who comes to town.
Yeah,
There's a small town, Beaverfield. Snowstorm traps a lot of its residents in the town. There's also, while at the same time, there's a lot of a big developer coming into town, or a
gas
gas pipeline. Yeah,
pipeline. Yeah.
thank you. Get big gas pipeline, so people are up in arms about that.
Hmm.
And again, the forest ranger arrives, and he comes in pretty bad timing, I think.
Well, a little bit about the forest ranger too was that he didn't cuss, like he wouldn't say bad words, and he was just really polite. And he was
Heavens,
talking about his
to
girlfriend, and
Betsy.
yeah, I know.
Heavens, to Betsy. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I love that
I'm
little
telling you, man.
line, those 3 lines right there, because every time he found something that was just so horrible, that was his, exclamation. Heavens,
From the beginning of
Betsy.
this movie, as soon the first scene with the little dog outside tied up on the lead or whatever, all of that, it reminded me so much of Mel Brooks films, like Young Frankenstein or something like that. The way the comedy was done in this
Right.
movie, it was kind of like dry comedy, but it was just the like you said, the heavens to Betsy thing, little things like that throughout the movie, like when so there's they believe a werewolf in this town, Beaver Town. Is that the name? That
Beaver,
was
Beaver, Beaverfield.
Beaverfield. Okay. So when he goes out and he finds the AC or the generators that are slashed, and it looks like a big claw slashed through these things. And then there's the body underneath the porch. And the
Yeah.
way when he walks back in there and they're like, you look like you've seen a dead body. And he's like, well, you know, It's like, as a matter of fact, you know what I mean? When he's
Yeah.
like, well, the roads are heck, I think he said, or something like that, because they couldn't get out. And then he said, and the generators have all been cut or something, or however he described them. And then he's
Yeah.
like, and there's a body under your porch. Just
Oh,
like,
just so
oh yeah.
matter of factly, and subtly. No, I thought I loved this movie actually because of the comedy. The comedy was right up my alley the way it was done.
Hmm.
Sam Richardson is the guy who's the forest ranger. Milana Von Shrub. It's probably I'm sure I'm slaughtering her last name, but she's the T-Mobile girl.
Oh yeah,
Um,
T-Mobile.
she's the
That's right.
T-Mobile girl who plays the postal worker, in this film, and so she's got some great comedic timing as well. They're awesome. They play well off of each other, and again, like the other werewolf movie we talked about, Werewolves Within. This you don't know who the werewolf is.
Yeah.
This is another one of those who done it films while these bodies keep piling up. And both of these movies, I got to give them credit because they are comedies, but I think the gore was pretty
Yeah.
well. Yeah, was there a gore? I'm trying to remember. Werewolves
Yeah.
Within had.
Well, the one guy gets his hand like taken off.
Yeah, that's right. That's
And
right. That's right.
another great note, if you're of a certain age like Lee and myself, is the music that was in it too.
Yes.
And it had a bunch of old like 80s style music in it, so
Yep.
I like
It
that.
did.
And it was just perfectly timed and placed for the music too,
Yeah.
so that, you know.
Yeah. There's so many great comedy things though, like when they're him and the Sam Richards' character and Milana's character, supposed to work on Force Ranger. They're going and talking to the guy, the poacher or whatever he is that's out there, the thing. And there, this just I remember this scene was shown in the trailers for the movie
Yeah.
also. Still so funny because oh, please don't. He's walking slowly to them and they're trying to get out of the door. And then he's coming over and he's reaching over. No, please, please don't, please. And all he's doing is unlocking the door. They're like, oh,
It's so much like a Mel Brooks film, man. The way
yeah.
that, even the way it was filmed, all that suspense of him walking and like reaching, and it seemed like it took forever for him to get
Yeah.
there, and there the whole time freaking out. But I I I really liked that movie. It was a good movie, good comedy, man. I hope there's more of that style of film for horror. I like the horror comedy every once in a while, and this one really did a good job.
Yeah, it did. And unlike the other one, and that was another thing. I don't think that other character in Werewolves, and maybe I'm wrong about this. Was the other character prominently shown in Wolf of Snow Hollow? Was he,
No,
or did he just pop up on it like
I like
near
towards
the
the
end?
end. Yeah, I think towards the
Okay,
end.
so this one, Werewolves Within. I mean, the person who turns out to be the werewolf is right there in front of your eyes the whole time, and I didn't know it.
You
I
didn't
think
know it?
that's
I
you
called
did.
it from the beginning. Yeah.
Did you realize?
I
See,
can tell you as soon as I knew, I can tell you the scene that it was
please.
when they went into town and the lady who I believe was a mechanic or something like that,
Yeah,
she said, "Where is my part at?" And it was the post lady said something about, "Oh, well, it's back there. I'll check on it." And she's like, "Well, it's been this long and it should only take like 2 days." And right at that point, I was like, it's her because she's hiding something. And why would she hide the mail unless she killed the mailman?
right. See,
It
yeah,
took over. And that was that was my first guess. And I knew that it had to be either her, the ranger himself, or the guy with the pipeline, because these were the first murders that happened there. You know what I
right.
mean? And all of them were, so it had to be within the cycle of a full moon. What, 30 days, 28 days, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I said, well, it's got to be one of those three, but my bet was still on the post lady.
Well, I didn't guess it, and I think I'm usually pretty good at picking things out, and I don't feel like I did on this one at all. And that's why I think it endeared me a little bit more. I was like, oh, I was actually surprised slightly by it, and yeah, it was. I really enjoyed it because the comedy was great, like I said, and part of just the mystery of who it is.
Yeah.
Also, there was a lot of great things about it that I enjoyed. Um, I would actually give this one, man, a good 8, a good 8, maybe 9.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
go.
gonna go right
I'll
in
go
the
with a
middle
9.
with you. You going with a 9? Yeah, I'll put this one at a 9 too. I really liked it, man.
Yeah, I'm
And
going with a 9.
you know something
Now
that
it's not the
surprised
scariest movie,
me.
but it's really good. What's
Well,
that?
something that just surprised me is at the end when we find out it is her, and the confrontation's happening in that bar or whatever, and um, when there was no "you can join me" or anything, or "I won't hurt you" or anything, or it was none of that. I mean, she just planned to kill all of them anyway.
Yep.
You know, it was none of that because her and the ranger, I thought they had a little something going on, but she was just playing him, man.
Yeah, the whole time. I
I was
know
like,
he's getting
dang,
played.
poor guy.
Poor dude.
Yeah, he was so gullible, but so nice, man. Poor
He
guy.
was. He was. I have to say that I also enjoyed another actress in this, Michaela Watkins, who was formerly on SNL a few years ago, and I really enjoyed her on that. She played the Trisha Anderton lady who was the cat. I think it was, you know what I'm talking about? It was a cat, right? That she was, or no, or was it a dog that she had?
Dog.
It was a dog. Okay, the dog that,
Yeah.
yeah, the werewolf got the dog. It was
Hmm.
her. She was. I thought she was funny throughout the movie. Also, man, it was, she was really funny. Uh, yeah, I just needed to give her a quick shout out to that. Her, I enjoyed her character as well. There's a lot of good characters in this movie. Actually, there's a lot of good
And
characters.
the part where the guy was saying, "I'm the werewolf," he said, "You're the werewolf. You're the," and then I started thinking, I was like, "Oh, is the whole like community werewolves?" And these people didn't know, they came in and you know what I mean? Something like the Howling or something, or Howling
Right.
3, whichever one where they go to the whole village of werewolves. I was like, "Oh, is it a place like that?"
I think it's
And
the Howling, the first one.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Howling 3 is the one that I couldn't wait to rent when that came out on VHS.
No, I think you're talking about that's Howling too, with Sybil Danning.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Is that the right? Maybe I'm wrong. I
No,
mean,
no,
since we're all
whichever one
werewolves.
you could tell by the cover of the VHS tape. So,
Yep, that's the Sybil Danning for sure.
uh,
Howling too.
oh, so
Which
yeah,
I do know. Since we're all werewolves, I'm sorry. Did you give your rating real quick?
9. Yeah, I went
9. All right,
9. Same.
we're going with 9s. All right, yeah, dude. We both enjoyed it. It was fantastic. I thought it was
Mhm.
great, great film. But let's end this on werewolves. You brought up the Howling, and I have to say, what a terrible tragedy of horrible downfall of films. The Howling is probably a great one of the classic werewolf horror movies
Yeah,
of all time, right there with American Werewolf in London. You
hmm,
know, and just with the special effects, the transformation of the wolf, and all of that.
yeah,
And let me give you a piece of my brain. And the guy. I mean, so and then you brought up Howling 2 and 3. I mean, they just horrible. They are horrible films, even though there's some great things about Howling 2, as you pointed out. The movie itself,
yeah,
the
yeah.
movie in itself is a horrible, horrible movie. Those are just horrible. I don't think I actually made it through. I probably made it through Howling 2, but I don't think I think I rented a couple of the other ones and I just didn't even
Yeah, I don't
finish
think
them.
so. And there's probably 4 or 5 of those, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah, more than that probably. I think there's probably like 6, 7, maybe even. Yeah, because
Well,
they ran for a while.
they came out the same time as like when Nightmare on Elm Street and all of those were coming out, and early 80s, I guess. And
Eight.
all of those movies did well, and they were like, well, let's do a sequel. And then that one would do okay, and then let's do another sequel and another. But I don't know why they kept the Howling going, because really the first one's the only good one.
Yeah, there's actually 6 that
Oh
came
my
out. Maybe
gosh.
actually 8 if you count the Howling Reborn in 2011, which I think I remember hearing about that, but I never saw it.
No.
Um, yeah, so I don't know. You brought up Howling, and I just had to give my 2 cents on that. That they were just first one, horror classic,
Yeah.
werewolf movie. Transforms at the very end, in front of everyone. The newscaster, and it was just such a great ending. D. Wallace
Yep.
Stone, of course.
Yep.
The mother from ET. She was a lot of great horror movies back in the day.
Cujo.
Yeah, Cujo for sure.
Yep.
So anyway, sorry, I had to bring you brought up the Howling, and I had to go.
I
On
knew
a little
you would.
tangent
That's why I
about
mentioned it.
that. Had to go to a quick tangent. But yeah, guys, I think that wraps up the end of the show, guys. We wanted to give you our quick
Yeah.
thoughts on those movies. Definitely check out, obviously, the standout crown jewel of the three we talked about was
Mhm.
Werewolves Within.
Yeah.
I would say give them all a
Definitely.
shot if you want to. They're nothing, none are terrible. I mean, besides Jason's review of
Dark
Dark
was the
Was the
night.
Night.
Yeah.
But then he surprised me with a three. So,
Yeah.
but check them out, guys. Let us know your thoughts, of course, as always. We definitely appreciate you guys watching. We
Mhm.
definitely do. And appreciate the feedback we're getting. So, just keep it coming and we'll try to do the best
Yep.
episodes we can for you guys.
Yeah. Any horror movies you want us to check out and review, let us know.
Yep. All right. Well, Jason, I think we said it all, my friend.
I think so. I think so.
All right, guys, don't forget to listen to us wherever you like to listen to your favorite podcasts. We're out there. Check them out. And again, thank you for your time. Later.
See you, Lee.
Peace, Jason.